Have you ever woken up to find strange marks on your body that you can't explain? Mysterious patterns that seem to appear out of nowhere, only to vanish just as quickly. You're not alone. Many people around the world have reported experiencing unusual bodily changes during times of intense spiritual growth. Today, we're going to explore 7 extraordinary physical signs that might indicate you're undergoing a profound spiritual awakening. What we are talking about aren't your everyday bumps and bruises, but strange, unexplainable marks that defy conventional explanation and hint at something far more mystical. You're about to discover how your body might be trying to tell you something extraordinary about you and your spiritual evolution. With that, let's take a look at the marks. Mark 1. Geometric patterns on the skin. One of the most striking physical signs of spiritual awakening is the temporary appearance of geometric patterns on the skin. These aren't your typical rashes or birthmarks. We're talking about intricate, symmetrical designs that seem to emerge from beneath the skin itself. You might wake up one morning to find a perfect circle on your palm or a series of interlocking triangles across your forehead. Some people report seeing elaborate mandalas or flower-like patterns blooming on their back or chest. These marks often appear in areas associated with energy centers or chakras in various spiritual traditions. What makes these patterns particularly fascinating is their resemblance to sacred geometry, mathematical patterns found throughout nature and used in spiritual and religious imagery across cultures. You might see shapes reminiscent of the flower of life, the Sri Yantra, or other ancient symbols. These geometric marks are typically temporary, fading away after a few hours or days. They may reappear periodically, often during times of intense meditation, emotional release, or spiritual insight. Some people report feeling a tingling sensation or warmth in the area where the pattern appears. From a spiritual perspective, these geometric patterns are seen as a visual manifestation of your connection to universal consciousness. They're thought to represent the underlying mathematical structure of reality, a glimpse into the cosmic blueprint that shapes all of existence. Interestingly, many who experience these marks report a surge of intuitive knowledge or a sense of expanded awareness accompanying their appearance. It's as if the patterns serve as a bridge between your physical body and higher realms of consciousness. While science may struggle to explain this phenomenon, those on a spiritual path often view these geometric skin patterns as powerful affirmations of their awakening journey. They're reminders that you're part of something far greater than your individual self, a vast, interconnected web of consciousness that spans the entire universe. Mark 2. Bioluminescent-like glow in darkness. Imagine lying in bed one night, lights off, when you notice a faint, ethereal glow emanating from your skin. No, you haven't accidentally swallowed a glow stick. This subtle luminescence is another intriguing sign that's been reported by some individuals undergoing spiritual awakening. This phenomenon resembles bioluminescence, the natural light produced by some living organisms. However, in this case, the glow isn't caused by chemical reactions, but seems to be linked to spiritual energy. The light is typically described as soft and diffuse, often with a bluish or whitish tint. It may cover your entire body or appear in specific areas, particularly around the hands, chest, or forehead. From a spiritual perspective, this glow is often interpreted as a visible manifestation of your growing inner light or expanded consciousness. It's seen as a sign that you're literally becoming more enlightened, not just metaphorically, but in a tangible, visible way. Some spiritual traditions associate this phenomenon with the activation and expansion of the aura, the energy field that surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. As your spiritual awareness grows, your aura is thought to become stronger and more vibrant, sometimes to the point of becoming visible to the naked eye. Those who've experienced this glow often report feeling a sense of profound peace and connection to something greater than themselves. Some describe it as a moment of pure bliss, where the boundaries between self and universe seem to dissolve. Interestingly, this glow has sometimes been witnessed by others, not just the person experiencing it. There are accounts of spiritual teachers or highly awakened individuals being seen with a subtle radiance around them, particularly in dimly lit settings. While skeptics might dismiss such reports as hallucinations or tricks of the light, for those on a spiritual path, this bioluminescent light glow serves as a powerful affirmation of their inner transformation. It's a reminder that as you awaken spiritually, you truly begin to shine from within. Mark 3. Spontaneous appearance of Sanskrit symbols. Among the more esoteric signs of spiritual awakening is the spontaneous appearance of Sanskrit symbols on the skin. Sanskrit, an ancient language deeply tied to spiritual and philosophical traditions of India, holds a special place in many spiritual practices. You might discover a perfect Om symbol appearing on your palm, or find the seed syllable Prum manifesting on your forehead. These symbols often emerge in locations associated with chakras or energy centers in the body. The symbols typically appear as if drawn or etched onto the skin, sometimes with a slightly raised texture. They may be faint, visible only under certain lighting, or they might be clear and distinct. Like other spiritual marks, they tend to be temporary, fading away after a few hours or days. Each Sanskrit symbol carries its own specific meaning and energy. The Om, for instance, represents the primordial sound of the universe, while Hrim is associated with cosmic energy and transformation. The appearance of these symbols is often interpreted as a direct communication from higher realms of consciousness. Some believe that these manifesting symbols indicate an activation or opening of specific energy channels in the body. Others see them as signs of past life connections to spiritual traditions that use these symbols. Interestingly, many who experience this phenomenon report having no prior knowledge of Sanskrit or these specific symbols. Yet when they research the meaning of the symbol that appeared, they often find it eerily relevant to their current life situation or spiritual journey. The duration and recurrence of these markings can vary widely. Some people might experience a single occurrence, while others report periodic appearances, often coinciding with significant spiritual insights or practices. While modern science might struggle to explain such occurrences, those experiencing them often view these Sanskrit symbols as profound spiritual gifts, tangible signs of their growing connection to ancient wisdom and universal consciousness. Mark 4. Shifting fingerprints or palm lines. One of the more subtle yet profoundly intriguing signs of spiritual awakening involves changes in your fingerprints or the lines on your palms. These aren't the kind of changes that happen overnight. They're gradual shifts that you might notice over time. You might find that your lifeline seems longer or more pronounced than you remember. Your heart line might develop new branches or change its curve. Some people report the appearance of new lines or the fading of existing ones. Even more fascinating are reports of shifting fingerprint patterns. While fingerprints are generally considered unchangeable, some individuals undergoing spiritual awakening claim to have noticed alterations in their fingerprint walls, loops, or arches. From a metaphysical perspective, these changes are seen as reflections of your shifting life path and destiny. In many spiritual traditions, the lines on your palm are believed to represent different aspects of your life, your potential, your challenges, your relationships. As you undergo a spiritual awakening, your life path may shift, and these changes could theoretically manifest in your palm lines. The idea of changing fingerprints is particularly intriguing. Some esoteric teachings suggest that fingerprints are not just physical identifiers, but energetic signatures. As your consciousness expands and your energy shifts during awakening, this could potentially impact your fingerprint patterns. It's worth noting that these changes are typically very subtle. You're not going to wake up one day with completely different hands. It's more a case of gradual shifts that you might notice if you're paying close attention, or if you happen to compare current images with older ones. While conventional science would be skeptical of such claims, those experiencing these changes often view them as powerful signs of their spiritual evolution. They see these shifts as evidence that their awakening is not just an internal process, but one that's leaving its mark on even the most fundamental aspects of their physical being. Now, before we get into the most interesting mark, if you are new here, Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more life-changing spiritual videos in the future. Mark 5. Ethereal birthmarks resembling constellations. Imagine waking up one day to find a pattern of spots on your skin that wasn't there before, and not just any pattern, but one that eerily resembles a constellation in the night sky. This phenomenon, often referred to as celestial birthmarks or star seeds, is another intriguing sign reported by some individuals undergoing spiritual awakening. These marks typically appear as a group of small, light-colored spots on the skin. They might resemble freckles or faint moles, but their arrangement is what makes them truly striking. You might find a perfect rendition of Orion's belt across your shoulder, or the Big Dipper sprawled across your back. The appearance of these constellation-like birthmarks is often interpreted as a sign of your cosmic origins or your connection to star systems believed to have spiritual significance. In some New Age and spiritual circles, people who develop these marks are sometimes called star seeds, souls believed to have incarnated on Earth from other planets or star systems. These ethereal birthmarks are usually temporary, fading away after a few days or weeks. However, some people report that they reappear periodically, often during times of heightened spiritual awareness or cosmic events like full moons or meteor showers. From an astrological perspective, the specific constellation that appears might be seen as significant. For instance, if you develop a pattern resembling the Pleiades star cluster, you might explore the myths and spiritual beliefs associated with that particular constellation. Those who experience this phenomenon often report a deepened sense of connection to the cosmos. They might feel drawn to stargazing or find themselves more attuned to celestial cycles and rhythms. While conventional medicine would likely dismiss such marks as coincidental patterns of hyperpigmentation, for those on a spiritual journey, these constellation-like birthmarks serve as a profound reminder of their place in the vast cosmic tapestry. They're seen as affirmations that you're not just a terrestrial being, but a multidimensional soul with connections that span the universe. Mark 6. Spontaneous bruising or spirit touches. Among the more perplexing physical signs of spiritual awakening are unexplained bruises or marks that seem to appear out of nowhere. Often referred to as spirit touches in some spiritual circles, these marks can range from small circular bruises to larger, more elaborate patterns. These spontaneous marks typically appear on areas of the body associated with energy centers or meridians in various healing traditions. Common locations include the chest, back, arms, or legs. The marks might be tender to the touch, like ordinary bruises, or they might have no associated pain at all. What sets these marks apart from regular bruises is their sudden appearance, without any remembered impact or injury. You might go to bed with clear skin, wake up with a perfectly circular bruise on your palm, or find a pattern of marks across your back that resembles a handprint. It's crucial to approach this phenomenon with a balance of open-mindedness and critical thinking. Always rule out medical conditions or physical causes before assuming a spiritual origin. Unexplained bruising can be a sign of various health issues, so it's important to consult with a healthcare professional if you're experiencing frequent or concerning marks. From a spiritual perspective, these spirit touches are often interpreted as signs of interaction with non-physical beings or energies. Some believe they're marks left by spirit guides or angels during healing work or energy adjustments. Others see them as evidence of astral travel or out-of-body experiences during sleep. The symbolic meanings attributed to these marks can vary widely depending on their shape, location, and the individual's personal spiritual beliefs. A circular mark might be seen as a sign of wholeness or completion, while the linear mark could be interpreted as a sign of forward movement on your spiritual path. For those experiencing them, these spontaneous marks often serve as tangible reminders of the unseen forces at work in their spiritual awakening. They're seen as physical evidence of the subtle energetic changes occurring as consciousness expands. Mark 7. Changes in eye color or brightness. One of the most captivating signs of spiritual awakening involves changes in the appearance of your eyes. This can manifest in several ways, from subtle shifts in eye color to a noticeable increase in the brightness or clarity of your eyes. Some people report their eye color becoming more vibrant or intense. Browns might take on a golden hue. Blues might deepen or develop flecks of other colors. In rare cases, individuals have reported more dramatic changes, such as eyes shifting from brown to blue or green. More commonly, people notice an increase in the brightness or sparkle of their eyes. Your eyes might seem to have an inner glow, appearing more luminous and alive. Some describe it as a light behind the eyes that wasn't there before. These changes are often gradual and subtle. You might not notice them yourself at first, but friends or family members might comment that there's something different about your eyes. In many spiritual traditions, the eyes are considered the windows of the soul. These physical changes are often interpreted as outward manifestations of inner spiritual growth. The brightening of the eyes is seen as a reflection of your expanding consciousness and growing inner light. From a metaphysical perspective, these changes might be attributed to the activation of the third eye chakra, an energy center associated with intuition and spiritual perception. As this chakra becomes more active during spiritual awakening, it's believed to influence the physical eyes as well. Experiences from spiritual communities suggest that these eye changes often coincide with periods of increased intuition, clarity of thought, or spiritual insights. Many report feeling more connected to their inner wisdom and better able to see the truth in situations. While science might explain some of these changes as results of diet, lighting, or perception, for those on a spiritual path, these eye transformations serve as powerful affirmations of their inner growth. They're reminders that as you awaken spiritually, your perception of the world and the world's perception of you can shift in profound and beautiful ways. How to confirm these marks are spiritual. If you've experienced any of these unusual marks or changes, you might be wondering how to determine if they're truly signs of spiritual awakening. While there's no definitive test, here are some guidelines to help you discern their nature. First and foremost, rule out medical conditions. Many physical symptoms can have underlying health causes, so it's crucial to consult with a healthcare professional if you're experiencing persistent or concerning changes in your body. Your health and safety should always be the priority. Once medical causes have been excluded, pay attention to the context in which these marks appear. Do they coincide with periods of intense emotional or spiritual experiences? Do they emerge during or after meditation, energy work, or other spiritual practices? The timing and circumstances can offer clues about their nature. Consider any accompanying emotional or mental changes. Spiritual awakening often involves shifts in perception, increased intuition, or a sense of expanded awareness. If these physical marks are appearing alongside such internal changes, it could indicate a spiritual origin. Reflect on the symbolism or placement of the marks. Do they align with energy centers or meridians recognized in various spiritual traditions? Does their shape or pattern hold personal or universal spiritual significance for you? These connections can provide insights into their potential spiritual nature. Whether you've experienced some of these marks or none at all, the most important signs of awakening are the internal shifts in your consciousness, your perception of reality, and your relationship with yourself and the world around you. If you resonated with the experiences we've discussed today, consider it an invitation to dive deeper into your spiritual journey. For those who haven't experienced these signs but are curious about spiritual awakening, make sure to watch our other videos and remember that the journey begins with an open mind and heart. Stay curious, question your assumptions, and remain open to the possibility of growth and transformation. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the mysterious intersection between the physical and spiritual realms. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications for more content on spirituality, consciousness, and personal growth. Until next time, may your journey be filled with wonder, insight, and awakening.